Hello all, this is Max yet again, your Space Master today. As I said earlier, what we're going to do today is deal with this fuel exhaustion and any other fuel problems you might have with your fleet. The fleet in question is in Proxima Centauri, and there's two ways you can do this. You can either get another ship that's already sort of out there to merge up with it and then equalize fuel between themselves. For example, I can take the one of these survey task groups here in Wolf and tell it to go from Sol to Earth to Proxima Centauri and then join survey task group 2, in which case I would ask it to equalize its fuel right here, and that way they can both limp home and get refilled. Another way to do it is through a tanker, and I've for the purposes of this tutorial, I've gone ahead and already done this. I've done a new class called the Resolution. The whole, I've named it Tanker. Then up here, very important, I clicked Tanker up here. All right. So there's a few different ways you could go about building it. Here I've attached a lot of commercial ion drives to this particular ship and gave it a lot of sorium harvesters. I'm going to add 2 so it's nice and even. And then I gave it a good amount of fuel storage, and I'm actually going to lower it to 5 million liters. And you'll see that these sorium harvesters will actually produce fuel. This is a completed fuel harvester. We can actually change the whole from tanker to harvester, or maybe just, is it fuel harvester? I forget, it's been a while. Yeah, fuel harvester. And it'll produce its own fuel. It does not need cargo holds to do this. And that's a common question that comes up, and I'll explain why that's a pretty common question. Let me pull up the system map and I'll explain to you how this works. Let me just narrow down the list here. We're going to look at Saturn. Alright, if you take a look at Saturn, it's got minerals on it. It has sorium, but it's a gas giant, as you can see right here. You can't build automated mines even on Saturn because all it is gas. So what do? You send these harvesters to Saturn, and they'll take the sorium and convert it to fuel. You do not need cargo pods to do that. All right, just the fuel harvesters and a large enough tank of fuel to hold it. And so what I'm actually gone ahead and did, I did tanker task group, and they're on their way to Proxima Centauri. They're going to refill that task force there, task group. Then they're going to come back to Sol and unload 90% of the fuel to Colony Earth. That's just to help that out there. And actually, I'm going to update here. Since I made some changes while in Space Master, there might be some problems with the with these guys, but we'll go ahead and work it out. Let's see, good 5 days. Maintenance problem on Agincourt. Okay, inactive labs, that's fine. Agincourt, yeah, I know. All right, so they're well on their way. These fuel harvesters, not going quite as fast as I'd like, but they're going. Let's take a look at the time they'll take. Tanker TG, and all orders going to be 215. So what I'm going to do is actually pause this until that comes about. Yes. So silly me. Transit failure. It can't go through. It was a silly oversight by me. So what is the option here? That was so stupid. Well, I'm going to show you the fuel harvesting aspect first, and don't forget, we've got this other task group, survey task group 5 going in to join task group 2, and they're going to do that in about 38 days. So I'm actually going to take our tankers and send them over. We're going to send them to Earth. I'm sorry, not fuel, but we're going to unload 90% of fuel to our colony, and then we're going to go to Saturn, and then you'll note that there's a let's go to Earth and add replacement crew. Okay, now we want to go to Saturn and equalize fuel percentage there, and then at that point I'll show you that they are in fact harvesting. So let's do the 30-day run here. Hopefully that goes by pretty quick. Okay. Oh look, our sector command's finished that we talked about a long time ago. And we're going to get rid of all these civilians. I've already talked about them. Alright, looks like our tanker's going pretty quick here. Okay, so the tanker has just landed at Saturn. Let's go ahead and take a look at any one of the tankers here. And you'll note that, where is fuel? Okay, under miscellaneous, there's going to be fuel. Oh, dang it. I hope that worked. We'll do it the quick and easy way. Alright, you'll see that fuel here is only 9%, and you can double click on one of these ships up here to bring it to the to this screen. And if you look at miscellaneous, is that what did I do? Millions? Okay, so that is 10%. Alright, so that's correct. Since I think I did 5 million, so that's 9% of 5 million. If their total capacity is 5 million, which it is, okay, great. So they're going to be producing quite a bit of fuel here. So remember this number, 438,500. Alright, we'll put that right down here. And we'll close out and give it a good 30 days. I'll give it another 30 days just to really show. Alright, now if we come on up here to our tankers, you can see that the fuel's gone up to 10%, and if you look at the miscellaneous here, we're at that number well above there. So they're actually going to keep going and just harvest from Saturn. One thing that your tankers can do is go over here to conditional orders, and if your fuel tanks are full, you can unload 90% of fuel at the colony at 4 jumps. Alright, and then if your fuel tanks are, we'll call it less than 20%, we'll ask you to, I think there's a good one in here for just go to a gas station, or a gas station, what am I thinking? Unload fuel at colony and move to Sorium site, which I think should be its own conditional order. Unload fuel at colony and move Sorium to the to Sorium gas giant. Okay, so there you go. That's how that works. That's going to automate our tankers here, so we don't have to even think about it. So that's excellent. That's how to refuel a oh, we actually have not refilled the fleet yet. And you saw how to do it, but we couldn't do it because there was no unfortunately there was no way to do it because we didn't have jump drives on there. If we come over here to our survey task group 2, you'll see that we had our Agincourt 4 join up with our Agincourt 1, hit equalize fuel, and now they can both go back to the soul point and stare in transit, go to Earth, refuel from the colony, and then, I don't know, go through jump point. Well, I don't know, go back to Proxima, stare in transit, and then at the soul jump point where they just came out, we're actually going to ask them to divide the fleet into single ships. Alright, so that should cover the bases here. I think we're all good. Unless there are any questions, I'll move on with live.